Hello there, beautiful people. I want to share with you just some quick insights and thoughts that have came through in regard to the 28-day ritual I just completed. I had three intentions for this ritual, and I will share on the manifestation of the intentions and the experience within that. I also want to share that I do have a longer video as requested, thank you, on the methods and process of this ritual so that you can do it yourself. And I will be uploading that this week sometime. So stay tuned for that. And for those of you who have no idea with what I'm talking about, I recently began a 28-day ritual that I completed not yesterday. Wow. Sorry, I'm distracted by my little one here. That I recently completed last week. And so I am on the other end of it and just sitting and reflecting with the experience and what has come to fruition, what I'm still waiting for and such. I know. She's meditating. Here you go. All right. So that is what I will be sharing with you in this video. So I had three intentions within this ritual. So the first one and the main one was to really have a dedicated ritual time, almost like ceremony, for integrating the divine intelligence of Urania. Urania is my higher self, an aspect of my higher self. I'm sure there are many aspects, like, we see within mythology. And Urania is what I am connecting with and what I have been connecting with for almost 10 years. And is, as you can see, the foundation of my business or my public life and my offerings and my service and all the things. So my intention was to integrate, draw down the divine intelligence of Urania and integrate that with my own consciousness. And I will say I was absolutely successful at doing this, to the point where not only, of course, my spiritual community and friends call me Urania, but now I have family calling me that. My mother will, I'm sure, never call me Urania. I would be shocked if she did. But I feel complete. I don't even necessarily need people to call me Urania. And it was already actually happening before I did this ritual. However, this ritual really anchored it into the physical realm and into my world and integrated that essence of Urania. So I physically embody Urania, and this is an expanding, ongoing experience. So very good on that. The second intention, which assisted with the integration, was to open my chakras and harmonize them, get them open, get them flowing pretty much at the same vibration, very balanced and stable, so that I may clearly connect with that divine intelligence. And I will say that has come to fruition. Of course, I have my days, and actually lately, like once I think about day 4 or 5 into the ritual, I had my first experience with all my chakras open, and it was very euphoric. I felt high, and it was just a really amazing, fast moving day. And then the next day they closed. And then the next day they opened again, and they consistently stayed open for 2 weeks, 14 days. And again, I will talk more about this in the other video because I don't want this to be too long. But essentially, I can confidently say that I have gained a flow with an energetic flow and state of awareness and being, where I have consistently have my chakras open and harmonized, and I can sense within my body when they are closed and what is closed. So, and that strength, that awareness basically was anchored within this ritual, because I was already measuring my chakras, not very consistently for 28 days, but I was measuring it like once or twice a week for about a month or so before I even did this. And I was already doing chakra work as well and opening my psychic channels before I started measuring my energy center. So it's been building, and the ritual anchored that in. So the third intention was to align and resonate with the flow of abundance, which is an interesting one. Thank you, sweetie. Because as you can see around me, I'm really abundant. Look at all the thriving plants around. And if you would see the rest of my house, you probably think that I was crazy. And I know that I'm abundant and I pretty much have everything that I need. However, I really desire monetary abundance. I desire money. I want to know what that experience feels like. And I've had a lot of money at other times in life, but since I started doing, since I've started or dedicated and devoted my life to my spiritual practice and my creative gifts and creating stability within that and security within that and providing for myself with that, it's been a wax and wane where some moments it's really financially abundant and other moments it's not. Yeah, it starts, sweetie. And so I always tiptoe around the money aspect when it comes to abundance. When I'm manifesting abundance, I'm just like, well, I don't want to really focus on money because, and you've heard me talk about it before, money is just an energetic representation. Like I'm going to get all this money and then what am I going to do with it? Right? I'm going to immediately probably spend it on something. Well, I want financial abundance really to have the security in case, of course, something happens, right? I don't want to be living paycheck to paycheck and like having that energy exchange, not having a good surplus. And then I also have very strong intentions of clearing my debt. And so I just really, that's a big one, especially the student loans and stuff. And I know some people are just like, don't pay those off, or there's a whole thing, but I just want it to be gone. I want to be done with it. So once I finally manifested that, you'll hear, this will be the proof because I feel it. I know it's going to happen. Yet in the intention with the ritual, that's the one I'm still sitting here. Like, where is my money? Where's this like flow of monetary abundance? I put so much focus. I had the affirmations and everything. And of course, being an intuitive guide, I know that it takes time. Thanks, sweetie. Thank you. I know that it takes time for, the world to get or like reposition itself to like gift me with what it is that I am asking. So here is the interesting part and what I've learned over the past like week. I recently started connecting with the work of Dean Radin. And if you're not familiar with his work, he is essentially a scientist who does laboratory research on the power of psychic abilities. Like basically his work gives scientific evidence to the fact that it is possible for telepathy. Okay, yeah, there you go. Telepathy, the principles of manifestation, also with spell work and magic and all of those things. Definitely look into his work, and I will link his video on synchronicity because it is so on point. And has to do with the ritual in the sense of me as a guide for those of you who would like to do the one-on-one 28-day ritual and have that support and me, putting energy into your intention as well. This quick video on synchronicity, it like literally, you have to watch it. The link will be in the description of the video. So basically, in a nutshell, what I learned is that when it comes to manifestation of your intentions, there is mainly the biggest aspect of it, of your intention coming to fruition, is probability, right? Because there's proof. And if you follow his work, and I know in your own experience, you have proof of your own intentions coming to fruition and how you may have directly, intentionally manifested that and such, or people. So we all know that we can manifest our desires. What it comes down to is the intricacy, the complexity of the desires. And the complexity of the desires determines, child, about to fall off the chair here. The complexity of the desires determines the probability of those desires manifesting. And it's like, this is something I knew subconsciously, but I didn't really think about it. And I've been studying and practicing law of attraction for some time. And of course, I started out with The Secret like most people do, and then it went on from there. But what really came through is it's what he was mentioning, and it clicked within my experience in the 28-day ritual. He mentioned that if you have a desire and an intention that simply doesn't, okay, let me say it like this. If you have an intention that, say, you want a specific person to fall in love with you, or you want them to love you as deeply as you love them and such, that intention essentially is a little bit more complicated because it kind of messes with the free will of another individual. So you're kind of working counter to that person's free will, say, if they don't already willingly love you or desire you in the way that you want them to, right? Or I like that he gave an example of, manifesting a gold-plated Mercedes. This was in one of his other interviews where, he mentioned, oh, say I have an intention, I really want a gold-plated Mercedes. Well, to get that gold-plated Mercedes to show up in my driveway, it takes one, the actual presence of a gold-plated Mercedes. What are the odds that a Mercedes is going to be gold-plated and you not have like direct hands-on, say communication or something with that, right? So it takes a lot. It takes the manufacturing. It takes, someone to bring it to your house so it could just show up in your driveway and such. And so it basically takes other people, and you're working counter to their free will, so to speak, to manifest your specific intention. And then I like what he mentioned. He said that one of his friends who's a witch ended up seeing that interview or listening to the interview and sent him a little small, it was painted, but it was gold painted. Mercedes is a really small one. And she also wanted to remind him that we also had to be very specific about what it is that we are calling in, what we're wanting to manifest, because okay, here's your gold-plated Mercedes, but it's a toy, right? Okay, can you give me 1 second? So the point is, we really want to also be very clear on what it is that we are intending to manifest. And so I was very clear with that in the ritual, and we shall see what happens. I know that that will take time because the flow of abundance, and specifically calling in monetary abundance, it's going to have to come from somewhere. And usually, money doesn't just pop up in your account. I mean, it can, and I'm opening my mind to all the possibilities while also just letting it go because the ritual has completed. So I'm letting it, do its thing. I will share that an interesting example within my own life of being very direct with what it is that you are intending is that a few months ago, or it could have been last year, I had the realization that, again, when it came to monetary abundance, and for me, my big focus is on self-reliance. Well, since having my daughter, this has been my only work. And, naturally, as an entrepreneur in a pandemic as well, the money has been very wax and wane. So on those points, in those moments where it was really a wane, I had to really rely on my partner to financially support myself and my daughter. And he's happy to do it. However, for me personally, I don't like depending on people for survival. I have trauma with that, and it's just, I hate it. And recently I was looking back at a post I had on Instagram from like 2018 or 2019. And this was before I even met my daughter's father. It was like right before we connected. And I remember doing a post on, I wonder what it feels like doing what I love and being fully supported. Now, I didn't mean, hey, I want a person to pay my bills, and because I've never been like that. I'm definitely very independent, and not saying that there's anything wrong. I just want to do what I want to do when I want to do it. And my daughter's father, it was funny. He was the only one. I don't know if he was the only one that commented, but he did comment, "Oh, you're going to find out what that." It was right when we started um dating, and we met online. So it was right when we first connected, and he was like, "Oh, you're going to find out." Which here we are in 2023, and that is the nature of the game, and we're both kind of like, I don't like this. I mean, he's fine. That's a whole nother thing. Like, he's happy to do it, as I said, but still, it's hard, especially post pandemic inflation. I don't have to get into all those details, but there's a reason why I am focusing on monetary abundance. And I didn't realize, me not being very specific. It's like, oh, you wanted to do what you love and be fully supported. Well, that's literally what's happening, right? This is what I do full time, and I love it. However, I want my own self-reliance and my financial security. I also really want and will clear my debt. I don't care. I just want it gone. I'm not going to wait on this and that and this and that and legislation and all that. I want it gone. So, with that said, again, what is really coming through is that it's going to take time, because yes, it might just show up. There's a possibility, but also it's going to take connecting with the right people and getting myself out there and having the right resources and connecting with community and doing all the things and showing up every day for that abundance or that financial aspect to align with whatever channels that needs to come through. So it's not going to fully manifest as quickly as integrating with my higher self. Integrating with my higher self doesn't take anyone except myself and believing in that capability. So the probability of that happening could be like really 50-50 chance. Either I believe it or I don't. Either I put energy into it or I don't. And the ritual, I have been putting energy into it, but the 28-day ritual was the anchor. And I knew that was a clear moment and when I was going to integrate that. And on the other side of it is like, I am Urania, which I've been saying for some time anyway. So that didn't take anyone else but my own divine will. So that very easily manifested. And as far as my chakras opening, that really didn't take anyone else either except my divine will, and being open to it and being devoted and dedicated to the fruition of having open chakras, harmonization, so that my goal with that and what I've been experiencing is that things come through so clearly. Divine intelligence, messages, intuition, just that clear sight, and it's very grounded. I will share that my root and my sacral chakra were the two chakras that have been consistently closed for who knows how long. Well, yeah, who knows how long, but I can definitely point back to 2017, 2018 when I had my first Reiki session ever, and I got an indication of that, but I felt it. And I felt it years before that too. So I just wanted to share that what it really comes down to when it comes to manifestation. I mean, there's so many elements, but the biggest one is that probability. How likely is it to happen? And that probability will also determine how quickly that manifests. And Dean Radin also spoke to the more you obviously focus your attention on it, and the affirmations and mantras, and of course, what I explained in the ritual, really creating your environment to reflect your intention, right? To work in alignment with that will increase the probability of it manifesting. So just because it might be complicated, it might take the not manipulation, but it might take a bit of finesse with someone else's, like you're kind of working counter to other people's divine will. It's still a chance that it will happen, and because anything is possible. And most importantly, I want to share that, if I can remember, because my mind is going quicker than I can speak. And then when I try to grab it, it's gone. What was it that I was trying to? Oh, this is why, and it also clicked to me, is this is why when it comes to manifesting a romantic partner, it works so well when you write it down, everything that you want, you get that person. But when you have an exact person, 9 times out of 10, if you are intending and working a ritual and doing spell work about for getting this person to love you, they already kind of probably don't love you in that way, or at least as intensely as you desire. So it's going to be harder because you're working counter to their divine will or their free will. But if you're open and you just, list what it is, the qualities of what it is that you desire. And again, this could be translated into your car, because I am manifesting a Wrangler, and a Wrangler that I can drive. That's a real car that I can sit in, my family can sit in, and I can have like my dog and everything in the car. That's what I'm manifesting. And yeah, so the more details you put into it, the more specific that manifestation will be. Not saying it will be quicker, but you'll get exactly what you desire. And so I hope that this was helpful in your manifestation and your intention setting. And again, please look out for the video where I explain in detail the ritual. And I'm also going to offer to be of assistance, to be a guide in your 28-day ritual of creating your mantras, of creating the exact ritual that you're going to do, and just being supportive, being an ongoing support for that duration of 28 days. We'll have a meeting together. And what else was I going to add? Yeah, I mean, it'll just be an amazing time. And if you watch the video that I put in the link from Dean Radin, it gives a really clear example how stronger your intention, how stronger the manifestation will be if it's you and another person putting attention and intention into that desire, right? And so, yes, I am being of support and I'm putting my energy into that, but there is absolutely, it will be beneficial for me. I mean, one, it's going to be a monetary energy exchange. So that's beneficial for me. I will be completely transparent about that. But then also just from learning and watching others and how their process works, and their manifestation abilities or their creative gifts, and, what and how do we open up the chakras, and what practices come forth, and what are their realizations, what are their insights, and just to be in that energy and to be of support is so beneficial for me. So I'm putting a lot of energy and attention into the collective intention of higher purpose, of divine purpose and well-being. So I think that is pretty good and clear with what I wanted to share here. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy this video, please subscribe to my channel. Please like and share the video. Please comment your thoughts and experiences with manifestation or anything that I shared here. And I really look forward to connecting with you again here soon. Take care.